I think COVID had a lot to do with it, and the internet. The internet, everybody saw surfing, and they saw, because the same thing happened in stand-up comedy. So I think it's like everything. People saw, oh, this is how people do stand-up. Oh, I can probably do that. This is where you do it. This is how you get to do it. This is like, there was just too much information. So I think that happened with surfing. People were like, it used to be you had to talk to people. Where do I go get a surfboard? How do I get fins? How do I put them in? How do I paddle out? And kind of had to figure out a lot yourself. Now there's a video that'll show you how to do everything.
Yeah,
So,
I know. It's just like everything now.
but
Yeah, and plus, like COVID, everyone just watched surf movies. Like everyone who kind of surfed, like watched surf movies that came out from like everyone. Every surfer who was stuck at home was making surf movies of their home. So I think everyone was just excited to go somewhere as soon as everything opened up, and now everyone's everywhere, and which is like totally understandable.
did you guys know with this storm that came through that made freight trains that good? Did you guys know the exact angle you needed for it to hit, and you saw it coming, and you were like, "That's the angle"?
Yeah, for sure.
So
Well,
that's why.
everyone remembers last time. Like people write down numbers for swells like that, and then
So
and it,
so
we have a
how many
forecast. Go ahead.
how many days did you have before it came that people knew about it?
For us, it's like when we get a big cell swell. Sorry, garbage truck going by. Um, it's super obvious for us because it'll hit Tahiti first, and so
I saw that
it's like
Tahiti
a
as well.
easy gauge. Like once you see how big Tahiti is, you can guess pretty closely what it's gonna be here. And I think it's like 3 days from Tahiti, maybe something like that, 2 or 3 days. I could be wrong, but
Were you tempted to go to Tahiti for that?
no,
Really?
no.
You don't like that
I've
wave?
I've towed. That's funny. I've only towed big chokes once, and it was to do stunts for that Point Break thing. Point Break
That
2.
Point Break thing?
If you haven't seen it, the second Point Break, it's fucking terrible. Maybe I'm not allowed to say that, but it's such a bad movie. But it's
I've never
hilarious.
watched it.
Look at this, dude. Just deposited another residual check from it. Still making money. I literally just got done doing that. Made
Is it like my
$300
residual?
this.
Is it how much was it?
Dude, it was $300. It's usually like
That,
$14, and for
I
some
was just
reason
gonna
this.
say my residual checks are like $14 or $3.
Yeah, yeah.
My wife and I always play a game when they come, when I see a check from SAG, and we go, how little do you think this one is?
Yeah, same. But this one was like 10 times more than usual, and I don't know
That
why.
that means they like re-upped it for like 10 years on Netflix or something.
No, no, no. It was all, I have the markout. It was all pay TV, which is like, I swear
People
it just
bought it.
does super well in Asia. That's where like all the money is coming from for that thing.
Well, wait, so didn't you have to do a wipeout in it? You were told to wipe out?
Well, they couldn't legally tell me to fall because I think they would have had to pay me more. So like, it was so funny the way they did it. The whole thing was such a funny experience for me because like, I've never been a part of that world, and like, for people that don't know, like, Hollywood has just never gotten close to capturing surfing in any way that makes surfers happy, except for Surf's Up, the Penguin movie. That was as close as they ever got. That movie is fucking fire. I'm not even kidding. I swear that's the best one by a long
My,
shot.
my kids watch it all the time.
It's so good. That's like one of my favorite movies ever. But anyway, so it was really funny because they came to Jaws first, well, before they did the Tahiti shoot. And they didn't include me, like no one hit me up to like try to do the stunts. They had like 5 or 6 guys like on these red boards, like wearing these outfits, trying to film some stunts. And I was kind of frustrated with them. They just like, they're just a huge, obnoxious Hollywood crew, like showing up and just, it's just a lot, especially at your like local surf break. And I remember they tried to say they could clear the water. Like, they said they had a permit to clear the water at Jaws, and we only get a couple swells a year, and that's like my life is surfing that wave, and it's like, it's a couple miles from my house. It's really special to me. And some guy like showed up on a jet ski and tried to tell me to clear the water, like one of the producers, and I was just like, "Get the fuck out of here!" I was like, "Go fuck yourself. I'm not gonna go in." I was like, "That's not how this works." And it was so funny because then I ended up meeting the guy because one of my friends is doing stunts, and then he got me the job in Tahiti. And then I got to meet the guy I told to fuck off. And I was like, oh shit, I'm sorry. Now they're like hiring me and I'm making good money and I'm showing
You
up at someone else's break and ruining it. I was like, I'm
you
such a
actually
fucking hypocrite.
That's hilarious. You actually had every right to tell them to fuck off though. And for anyone listening, whenever there's a movie set and they try to tell you to leave the area, 99% of the time they don't have a right to tell you to leave, especially out in the ocean. And so they'll end up paying you to leave. So just stay there till they pay you. Like
Yeah, I like that.
rev your car engine. Like if they tell you to move your car, just sit there and like get soap and wash your car, and they'll end up giving you like $1,000 to leave.
Yeah.
It's like the greatest thing about film sets. Just like actually go like build a birdhouse or something like right in the middle of their set. Like they'll pay you so much money to just keep saying no, and they'll keep upping the price till they can get you out of there because you'll ruin their whole day. And like they had no right to tell you to get out of the water.
No,
But I
they didn't
like
have a
that.
permit.
But I like that you bitch and then you went and did the same exact thing at Chopu.
Yeah, to someone else. And that whole scene was crazy. Like a couple locals got in a fight because they like same thing. They were trying to clear the water, and a couple of locals were like, "No, there's like a full fight in the water and shit." It was like such a shit show, and it was a huge day. But that was the only time I ever towed Tahiti. Um,
Had
like
you
towing
ever been
surfing.
there before? Had you ever been there
Yeah,
before?
yeah,
Oh,
I went
okay.
there once or twice before. I got it really, really good. I paddled it like as good as it gets.
Okay.
And so I knew the way, but I'd never seen it towing. And it's just it's such a crazy thing. It's just like you get whipped into the wave behind a jet ski. For those who don't know, that's what tow surfing is. And it's just such a quick, like crazy little moment. Then you got to kick out before it like closes out and goes into the lagoon. But one of the other stuntmen was Laurie Towner. He's an Australian. He's like one of my favorite surfers, like my idol. He's like probably like 5 or 6 years older than me, I think. But I always like really admired him. Um, and so he was like, we were both playing Johnny Utah, which is the funniest thing because that's like a character from the first one that we've made fun of forever. Like just like between each other, just go Johnny, like forever. And I was like, holy shit, I get this stunt man, Johnny Utah. This is so funny. But anyway, so he was the first Johnny Utah. I was Johnny Utah too, and so he gets whipped in. Laird's driving him, and Laird's driving Johnny Utah all day, and Laird's playing himself. So they want shots of
Oh,
us towing into waves, just a couple normal waves at first, and then we're going to do
right.
this doubles wave. And they're towing Laurie in, who's like my idol. He gets like one sick one. It's like really big. I've never seen it that big. And then he gets his like second or third wave, and it's just like it comes from the super west direction and it just basically closes out. And for those who don't know, Tahiti's like really shallow reef, and it's like a beautiful lagoon. And the wave breaks outside of the lagoon, and then there's like a 50 feet of like dry reef in between the wave and the lagoon, or like maybe 100 feet, I don't know. And then it's like 2 feet deep in the lagoon. But he falls on the wave, and we're like sitting on this floaty, like waiting our turn, like kind of looking at the wave in the channel. And I like look, and I see him come up, and there's like the end of the wave, it's a left, and it breaks into this right, and it's really, really shallow, like right on the edge of the lagoon. And I see him come up, and I just see his face is just covered in blood, and he's
Oh
like
God.
pretty much unconscious, and he's
Oh
like
no.
swimming like down. And I was just like, what the fuck? And then the second wave lands on him, and we're like looking, and I don't see him. And like Laird's trying to get to him on the jet ski, and I just see him face down in the lagoon, like looked like he was dead. And I was like,
Oh
holy
God.
shit. And this guy's like, mind you, like my idol. And I was just like, what the fuck?
And
And
you have
then
to go
Laird,
next.
yeah, Laird just pulls up, grabs him, throws him on the ski. He wakes up and Laird just buzzes to they had like a medical boat on site, drops him off, like buzzes up to the floaty we're sitting on, just like in his big Laird way, just, all right, he's done, Albie, you're up. I was like, what the fuck you mean he's done? He's like, oh, he's not gonna do any more stunts for this. And I was like, is he okay? He's like, no, he's gotta go to the hospital. He'll be all right, probably. And then he like grabs me and like throws me on the rope, and I was like, holy shit, this is so wild. But yeah, I ended up doing fine. Like, but at the end of it, they were like, okay, like in the scene, um, what's the other guy's name? Brody. What's
Bodie.
Bodie?
Bodie.
Bodie. Yeah, yeah. That guy, he was played by what's his name? Edgar Ramirez, I think. He was super cool. But so his character, they like cross paths on the wave, and Johnny Utah goes behind Brody and eats shit. But like the way they're like, so like in the scene he eats shit, but like you don't have to. But like
Yeah.
we need footage of him eating shit, but we can make it happen. So they couldn't like tell me to eat shit, but they did tell me to eat shit. But it was such a weird experience, man.
So when you
But
get pummeled by that wave, does it kick you out the back?
it can. The craziest part is sometimes you fall. Yeah, the locals called it like the hand of God for a while, and it's just like it's so hollow and cylindrical. Is that the word I'm looking for?
Cylindrical. Cylindrical.
Cylindrical. There we go. That's a funny
Cylindrical.
word. But like all the air that's inside the barrel gets trapped, and it'll just blow out the back. And sometimes you can fall in like the biggest wave ever, and you're literally under for like 1 second, just get blown out the back.
Oh, that
Um,
sounds like my dream.
yeah, it is, but yeah, you don't want to roll the dice too many times on that one, because the other option is like I one time fell, and it's crazy because there's like I said, there's like 50 to 100 feet of dry reef between you and the lagoon, and the lagoon's like
Mhm.
calm water, and it's like the reef's like this far out, but waves wash over it, and you can fall and just get really pounded, and you just come up in the lagoon, and you like look out, and there's like 100 feet of dry reef you just went over, and like somehow you didn't touch it because you were just like in the
In
white
this like
water. Like
waterfall. Yeah.
it's so wild. It's like the wildest thing ever. You just come up and you're just sitting in a lagoon. Like you fall in like a 15-foot wave and you're just sitting in like a peaceful lagoon. It's like the
So
most bizarre thing ever.